Hi, I'm Carrie Galloway, and I am the founder of Kentucky Paranormal Research, and I teach a ghost hunting course at one of the local universities here in Louisville, Kentucky. And my ghost story starts at the Tom Sawyer Park in Louisville, Kentucky. We believe the Tom Sawyer Park area is haunted because it was formerly the home of the Central State Facility that housed patients for the criminally insane. And we used to get reports from people in the evening hours that were frequenting the property that they saw many lights or images or heard sounds and such that were not normal for that type of property. The areas that was really specific to me that had a lot of energy was the cemetery. It just, when you got closer to the fence and as you came through the fence, it was incredible, the change of energy. It was almost as if there was a clear definition between within the fence walls and out of fence wall. It really, really gave you a sense that you were being invited in by someone and that you could feel that energy all around you. I first got acquainted with Terry through my ghost hunting class. She told us that she was a ghost magnet, and there are some people that are gifted and there are some people that are not. And as we found out by working with her and being able to review some of her data, that she had very genuine Class A EVPs. The words were very audible. You could hear, if you couldn't always exactly make out or agree exactly on what maybe they were saying, you could at least hear that there was a voice and that there were words being said. And what I most enjoy about working with her is that I can counter her and say, I don't really think that's what it is. I think that this might be something related to noise in the atmosphere that was collected on the EVP or collected on the recorder. And she's like, well, let's look at that again. And we can run it through an analyzer, and she will look at it in a very skeptical way, just as much as she will look at it as a very much possible, I'm going too much into it again. When we go to a site, we generally do not get activity right off the bat. It seems like you have to become familiar with the site, and possibly maybe the energies are becoming familiar with you. And after a number of visits is generally when we start to get some type of evidence, maybe more of a sense or a feeling that they're there, or possibly EVPs or video footage. And I believe that's what's going on with Terry. As she visits these sites, she talks to them, she becomes basically a friend to them, and I think that's sometimes why she gets more evidence than others. Another good aspect about working with Terry is she does a lot of research. She backs up the findings. If she gets a name on a recording, then she goes back and does research to validate that that person was a resident at that location. She also does a lot of history information. She goes back and gets details and validates possible findings that could justify why a ghost or haunting may even be occurring at that location. There's one EVP in particular that she picked up at the cemetery at Tom Sawyer, and that EVP has what sounds like wailing, like screams, and it's very, very unique in the fact that it escalates and becomes to sound like more and more voices, not just one particular scream. And we tried to listen to it in an analyzing way to try to figure out if possibly there was something else in the environment that could cause the screams, and we haven't quite been able to discern that there was something else that could cause that. And it's very interesting if you get to hear the clip. Do they get to hear the clip? Are they going to play it?
Yeah.
It almost seems to me like these are things that are the energies the living energies. Like they are experiencing that pain and they're unleashing it. And these wails are what is the residual of that. Or whether it's possibly an active energy that is somehow saying, hear me. I experienced this. We lived this. We're here. There's something, I think, being said.
Do you think they're still experiencing that pain?
If the torment, in my opinion, if the torment is so deeply embedded in someone that causes them to still be earthbound, I think it's very possible that they're still living that. And then maybe that's also why they're still here. Unfortunately, I think there were a lot of crimes to humanity at Tom Sawyer Park, and I feel like that tragedy has been somehow recorded in the environment. And I think that will continue to play out and we'll continue to witness, possibly even be in contact with these entities as they try to give us information about them and about maybe some of the crimes that were against them. I've had so many weird experiences since I was a child, and I try to explain them away. I try to be very skeptical. I've been accused of being very pragmatic. But But you know, it just comes down to it that there's things that happen that we just can't explain, and you feel it in your gut.